We'll get to it. Hello and welcome.
No, we're ready. 3,
Hello.
2, 1. No.
Hello and welcome
we're
back.
not ready.
Hello and welcome back to WhatAreMovie. I am Claire.
And I am Tony. And that's the wrong way around. It's so weird.
It's just still weird whenever
It's
I
not
do
right.
it.
Yeah. We're back for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Episode 5. Last time Sweet D got audited.
And this time the gang goes to Mexico.
Oh, is that what you reckon?
I don't know.
It's Claire's guess. We'll
I
see.
made that up on the spot.
We'll see. Who knows if we can get any darker.
Maybe I should guess the name of the episodes rather than
God,
what they're going to do.
Well, maybe. But that's basically what I want you to do anyway, yeah. So, yeah. This is Season 7, Episode 5. This aired on the 13th of October 2011. Directed again by Matt Shakman. Written by David Hornsby. Cricket. Rickety cricket. Will we see? Who knows?
We saw
Don't always see
a few
him.
episodes back, didn't we?
Saw the waitress.
And the waitress.
Who knows? Can it get any darker than the previous two?
Yes. Has he
Probably.
not met these people?
Yeah, that's very true. Well, we'll soon see. Full reaction is in the description. You need your own copy to watch along. Just make sure to come back where we'll talk all about it. Let's get on with it.
If I were a cop, I would have an Uzi.
Never issue you an Uzi, so now
That's
what?
not her point, though. That's not my... Thank you, Charlie. Listen, if you had the choice, would you choose to carry one gun that shoots 1,000 bullets?
Yeah, you're shooting bullets. I agree with 100%.
Right?
People coming at you from every angle.
Frank, honestly, if you're gonna join and swallow your food, then it's disgusting.
Yeah, hey, Frank, what are you eating over there?
You're not eating a hoagie. You were just jamming meats and cheeses inside of your mouth.
I like to make it in my mouth. Frankie?
Oh my.
You piece of shit! You son of a bitch!
Oh, wow.
Now, this is interesting.
They're just watching.
Break this up? No, don't break it up. I want to see how this whole thing plays out.
Oh my god. He's just spitting food everywhere as well.
Who is this man?
My goddamn brother!
Wow.
Well, there we go.
That's uncle.
Huh?
What's an uncle?
Why?
You had a brother.
Oh,
Do you
their
know
Frankie
uncle,
told us
I
your brother's
guess.
dead.
Yeah, you said that he had his guts sucked out of his asshole through a hot tub drain.
Told that to my own niece and nephew.
Well, technically, sir, he's not our father, which would mean you're not our uncle.
Yeah, we thought he was
There
for
you
a long
go.
time, and then as it turns out, you know what? It's a whole thing.
Yeah, let's
How could you do this to me, Frankie? She's my woman. You stole it from me first.
Who, what?
Stole it back.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Who the hell are you guys talking about?
The love of my life.
This has got more interesting. I'm gonna pull up a seat and let's just get it.
Well, story time.
Story
With
time.
Frank and his brother.
It was back in the 60s.
I'm gonna
Ooh,
jump
we
in for a
gonna-
second. It sounds like you're about to launch into a whole thing. Is it gonna take a long time? My attention span's very short. Valid concern.
It'll take as long as it takes.
Okay.
Well, we might pop in and out.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Generation, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you want something funny or
give
something?
it some flair.
Okay.
I mean, at least they're honest. 60s.
Oh, yeah, we're going back.
Looking for me, jazz club on the north side. It was an all-black joint. Blacks played the best music. Not that I gave a shit. I got a tin ear. It all sounds like a bunch of noise to
For
me.
God's sake.
See, I was running numbers. I'd take bets for the owner, Reggie. You see, Reggie owed me money. I need you to hire someone. I ain't hiring another one of your bimbos, Tito. This bimbo is my little brother. He's here every night for the music.
He looks so good.
Worse than anybody else in this club.
His hair. It's so
How
good.
would you like to work here?
Would I ever? I love the music, sir.
He's just a kid. How old are you, boy?
19.
Shit, you don't look a day over 12.
I'll do anything.
God, they didn't even bother to make him look really young. He looks quite good.
Yeah.
Frankie's job and he loved it.
I was busting tables and washing dishes. It stunk. But at least I had that sweet music. One night, I heard the voice of an angel. No, not her. Keep going. That's her. Dynasty.
Gotta stop you.
Okay.
The love of your life was a black woman named Dynasty?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's strange.
It's just unexpected.
All right.
Not that strange.
No.
I was cleaning up, doing my usual routine.
That doesn't surprise me.
Saw you with her.
Bitch, if I want to be with another one, I'll be with another one.
Damn.
You don't get this bitch out of my sight.
He old enough to drive.
Sure.
He looks so innocent in this
does.
one. Do you recognise Reggie?
No.
It's Agent Broyles from Fringe.
Oh yeah.
I finally got the nerve to speak to her. You got a huge set on you.
Excuse me?
Pipes, you got a great voice.
Oh.
See, your mind's in the
Yeah.
gutter.
I'm gonna open a jazz joint of my own someday. An integrated place where blacks and whites can get along.
Oh my.
No Orientals, though.
I thought we was progressing.
Dream, I guess.
What a dream.
My star attraction. You're the real true star. You just need a sky to shine in.
If I didn't know better, I'd think you were flirting with me.
White man, get down!
Why were you shoving your head down?
You did not want to be caught out in the street in those days with a... They tear you apart. Whatever the proper word was.
God.
Talking 60s terms.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you
All
use
right.
those terms.
All
All right. You open the club or what?
This is the best.
We opened the club and we named it after our star attraction.
Nice.
Ooh. Shady nasty.
Nasties.
Your dynasty's asshole. Whatever.
Shady nasty.
Is that how you spell it? So business was booming.
So stupid. It's great.
It seemed like she was singing to me, because she was.
Wow. She's lucky getting to make out with Danny DeVito.
Well. Ain't this some shit?
I love his delivery. It's so good.
I gave you everything. Then you go and take my best bitch.
I left you. I'm with Frank now.
Who you with her now, huh?
He looks so nervous.
That don't leave me with no choice but to be a mature ass adult about this shit. I'm working on my temper. But know that I strongly disagree with this.
I think he disagrees with it.
He's working on it. He's...
Good luck, Frankie.
Gino, what are you doing?
Jesus.
I got 2 years in the slammer and Reggie got sick.
Why'd Reggie get more years than you? You beat the man half to death.
He was black.
Those were the days.
You sound like you yearn for those days.
Just saying, those were the days.
God damn.
The 70s had arrived.
Oh god, not the 70s.
Good to have you back. What the shit is that?
Oh, bump of coke.
Oh.
It's the 70s, Frankie. Everybody does drugs.
No, drugs are trouble.
Relax. I got a gun for protection.
Whoa, wait, what are you doing with that gun? Drugs, no guns, no trouble.
Hey, I could eat. I know how to do it. I'm the one who taught you to do it.
Such a weird concept.
Please, just continue.
I was building up the nerve to ask her. Running the club, saving money wherever I could.
Damn, he's really going to town with that
One
food.
big party.
He's having the time of his life.
He is.
I never danced with no guys.
Maybe you did, maybe you didn't.
No. First off,
Charlie's face.
banging babes left and right. Oh! My past came back to bite me. Get lost, bimbo.
Gino,
Reggie, you're out of prison.
I'm a Black Panther now. We don't take kindly to you slinging dope in our hood, you dig?
Are you threatening me?
You bet your ass I am. It's a goddamn petition. What the hell?
I'm gonna take care of this.
Oh my
Frankie.
God.
You gotta disappear for a while.
Disappear? Where am I going to disappear to? What about your dynasty?
I'm gonna look after your dynasty.
Oh, tragic love story. Off he goes.
What is going on?
Do you not like the backstory?
Colombia. I was quality control for his Colombian cocaine connection. I'd become everything I hated. The only thing that kept me going.
This is quite the adventure.
This is quite the adventure.
Oh, he's so sad.
But I never heard back.
Oh.
It's a bit moist.
Yeah. Shady nasty.
I occupied my mind immersing myself in the culture,
He's really...
but mostly doing cocaine.
This is madness.
That part was a blast, actually. And months turned into years. The little birdie wants to fly back to the cage.
It's too close. There's too much hate. Can't come home on account of the attempted murder.
Why'd you say that, Gino?
You used my name. Don't come home, Frankie.
Now you used my name.
For God's sake. Idiots. They're not very good at this.
He flew back.
Yeah.
So I snuck into the States.
Oh, this is disco.
What I saw when I
I was mistaken.
it turned into a drug-filled disco shithole.
Damn disco.
Yeah.
Ruined everything.
My brother with Dynasty.
Oh dear. Oh, really? I don't think I ever thought I'd see Danny DeVito throw up. Do you think he can just throw up on demand at this point?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it before.
What?
He can't hear. He's...
I was homesick, but now I'm just regular sick.
You were gone. He was here.
Yeah. Disco is too loud.
You can live a life with me, or you can live a life with him. And with
What would you pick?
Drugs. I choose drugs.
She said drugs.
Yeah, just like old, well, new times, I guess.
I found the new love letters you've been writing to her, Frankie. I should have destroyed these, like I destroyed the letters from Colombia.
What? You destroyed the letters I wrote to Dynasty?
He's... I
intercepted
can't
them.
believe it. I do believe it.
They were poetry. I couldn't let Dynasty read them.
They're definitely brothers.
I feel like...
Smut. I want to be in you. My dick is a raging bull for you. Meet me at the airport at Friday at 5 o'clock, Terminal C. Love, your one and only. Gino.
That's not me.
She's moved on.
She's at the airport right now. Like, if you want to try and get her back,
Now, I like to see this whole story play out.
it's romantic in me. I feel like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's go to the airport. Do it. All right, let's go.
How are they getting... Oh, they do have the car.
It's alright. Yeah, they could drive.
Gate. I don't see a black woman anywhere.
I mean, there's her, but
What? Really? That is not at all what I was picturing.
no, right?
I mean, they've all grown older.
You're still as beautiful as ever.
What are you doing here?
Their faces.
You know, I wrote to you. There's still a chance for us.
No, you choose me. I have loved you all my life.
No, pick me.
No, when our love is strong,
God damn.
pick me, Dynasty.
Wow.
Sorry, but I pick him.
Ain't this some shit?
Whoa, everyone's a lot fatter than I was expecting them to be.
Last time I saw you,
Reggie is your one and only.
He was all along.
All the
But because of you
time.
two, he was always in jail. I could never be with him.
Mr. Muhammad, your name came up on a no-fly list.
I'm supposed to be getting on this flight.
Let's take him down.
Hell no. Times have changed. It can't still be like this.
This is a whole ordeal.
No, that just happened.
It just happened.
Times kind of haven't changed much, huh?
She looked like shit.
God.
He did not age well at all.
I guess black can crack.
God.
Still kind of racist.
Yeah, that's racist.
It's not nice.
Ever tell you about the time that I threw him off the John Wanamaker building?
I can't listen to it. I don't want to hear that.
Frank's brother. There we go.
Silly Willy, silly Willy.
Dynasty.
Shady nasty.
What do you think of that episode? Frank's brother.
It was a good episode. I think looking at the like, it was quite almost. I don't want It's very difficult because I don't want to say it was more tame than the other episodes.
No, it had moments, yeah.
Because there was elements of racism and stuff in this episode, which isn't right.
No.
But it didn't impact me. Like, I don't know, it was more of a...
Yeah, it's not as shocking. It's not as shocking as the other ones.
No.
That's the difference. But it's still...
I guess
think
it's because it just highlighted the racism that we... It doesn't make it any better, but that we know of from back in the 80s, the 70s.
Those were the days. You sound like you're yearning for those days. No.
And I guess it wasn't... The gang wasn't being arseholes.
No, they were just listening to a story.
They were just listening to a story. And like we said, like we had this with the... Oh, you know, the gang cracked the bell.
Liberty Bell.
Yeah. Like, we wondered if we'd ever get episodes where they go back in the past.
Yeah,
and I kind of see what this is. I was a bit like, are we going to go back?
Yeah. It's very different.
Yeah, it's different to the others, yeah. That's what I think it is very different. We've literally just been hit by, like...
We had the Frank's Little Beauties, and
then the
Sweet D Gets Audited.
Yeah, so, like, we've been hit with two that are like, what the hell?
Yeah. This is more of a crazy storytelling thing. Yeah, it's
like a different dynamic to it.
Yeah. But they're all chatting away. I can't remember what their argument was now because we've just eaten. So it's been. But Frank's making food in his mouth. Yeah. He's like eating stuff, but he's like one bit at a time. It's like I like to mix it in my mouth and make food. It's like because Charlie's like, if you're gonna get involved, you know, swallow your food. Yeah. Because they're having this whole conversation, and he was like, Mac's falling asleep. He's like,
he was not interested.
No. Do you remember what it was about? They were talking about Uzis. Just some really irrelevant argument they were just saying about Uzis. And then Charlie's like, I agree. Like, an Uzi could shoot a million bullets at once. And all this. And, like, Mac is just falling asleep. It's one of their pointless arguments.
Then Frank starts, but he's got mouth full of food.
And then
they say about making sandwiches in your mouth.
Well, yeah. But then you hear someone's voice. He turns around. He's like, Gino. Who did you think it was to begin with?
I don't know.
I think it's good casting. I think they look related.
Yeah.
He gets up and he's like, it's like spitting food everywhere. It's gross.
Yeah. Then they start having a fight.
So they start fighting.
Yeah. And they're like, who is this person?
You're like, we should stop. No, I kind of want to see how this plays out. It's just like Frank's trying to reach for a glass bottle.
Yeah, and then he like whacks him on the head with a glass bottle.
He's like, oh, okay, fine.
I'm like, who is this? It's my brother.
You said your brother died. He got his Well, did it then cut and then to? It's Gino, my brother, and then it cut to Frank's brother. The title.
It was like you said our uncle died.
His insides got pulled out while he was in a hot tub.
You did what?
You told my niece and nephew this? It's like, well, he's not even our father, so... You know, technically you're not our uncle. It's a whole thing. I like those sort of little moments where there's like... Obviously, it's a new character come in and they don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
And then the main characters go, well, it was a whole thing we did. It's like a whole adventure. But it all started in the 60s.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, whoa, wait a second. How long is this going to take?
Why?
Is it going to take
did they say something about that you stole...
the love of my life?
Yeah. I think because Gino's like, why would you tell them that I died? That you stole the love of my life.
Yeah. First you steal the love of my life, and then you tell them that. And it's like, no, you stole it from me after I stole it back from you. Yeah.
Like,
and then they were talking about the 60s, but the gang were like, is this going to take long?
Our attention span isn't great.
It'll take as long as it takes. It's like, oh, you know, the young, it goes in one ear.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we'll be dipping in and out when we're not bored and that. And I like bits where it cuts back and like Charlie's out back. He's like, wait, what happened? He like brings beers back because they're like, their attention span doesn't quite... Yeah. It's interesting. It's a completely Frank-centric episode, pretty much.
Yeah,
because you didn't get much of the gang.
The dynamic of the other episodes that we've had, the whole gang, they've been off doing little bits. It's just been chaos, and this one's more
it's funny
confined one story.
Yeah, it's funny to think, because obviously Frank didn't start off in the show. Danny was added later, and now he's a centric episode. Which we've had episodes focused on things he's doing. But it's a bit different. So, is that a jazz club?
Yes.
Gino's like,
there?
Well, he's like, he said jazz clubs are the best because black music is the best. Not that I know because I can't hear a thing. I was there for betting. Worked for Reggie.
Reggie, the owner.
And he owed me money. And
he liked to lose bets, I think he said. Or something.
Yeah, so...
but he owed him money, so he asked him to do a favour, which was hire his brother. What do you think of Frank in this? He looks so funny. Yeah. His hair, and he looks like a little kid. Reggie's even like... how old is he? And I don't like it's the opposite way round though. He's like, yeah, how old are you? He's like 19. He's like, shit, you don't look a day over 12. The way he said his delivery, it's Lance Reddick, like I pointed out to you, who we know mostly from Fringe, playing Agent Broyles. He's also in John Wick. Yeah. Playing the concierge, right, at the Continental. Yeah. Great actor, Lance Reddick. I love Lance Reddick. So Frank starts working at this club, doesn't he? But like, it's so funny, like, because Frank Danny DeVito in real life is how old? How old was he at the time of this? He's like 60s, right? Yeah, he's older than that 50, now. 60s, he's probably in his 70s, I think. Yeah. He's playing a 19-year-old, and the funny thing is, Reggie goes. Like, when he says she, I thought he was going to say, oh, you look like... Yeah. He's like, you don't look a day over 12. Which just makes it funnier, I think. I think that makes the joke so good. But yeah, he wants a job. He's like, yeah, I'll do anything. Well, and then it cuts back and he's like, the job was terrible. It was also, I was cleaning up puke. And, puke in the toilets. Yeah. And then it cuts back to him... chewing on the meat. Well, I was doing my usual business. Yeah. Never had that plates argument. Coming back from the... Oh no, we saw before that, didn't we? Where he was... Because he first saw her. Because we saw, like... He was, like, cleaning up the tables. Yeah. And he's like... I heard the voice of an angel. I saw her, yeah. Not her. Keep going. Yeah. There she is. Shadynasty. Did you... like, Shadynasty? Yeah, it cuts to them going like, what, Shadynasty? That's... It's a weird name, right? It doesn't... Strange. It's like, wait, you were in love with a black woman named Shadynasty? And he's like, yeah, what of it? It's nothing. It really feels out of character, but I think that's what makes it funny as well. I was waiting for one of them to go... What did you... sorry. Because he's obviously like the love of my life. I was waiting for one of them to go like, what about our mother? Because he was obviously married to their mother. Yeah, but he was always like, your mother was a whore. But... So, they must have loved each other at one point, right? Somehow. I mean, they had, well... No, they didn't. They had one, and but she had kids, so... Yeah, and they thought it was his. Yeah. I would have said 2 kids, but it wasn't. They're twins, so same time. Yeah. What did you think of the name Shadynasty when you heard it? I just thought it was... Until you see it written out. Yeah, it's a really clever joke. It's a stupid joke, but it's clever at the same time, I think. I don't know. I was just thinking, like, what would have Gino's reaction have been? Being like, well, actually, when they was like, oh, well, you're not actually our uncle because he's not actually our dad. But then if, like, Charlie went, but he is my dad, so you're my uncle. Yeah. Because you forget about that. You forget about that whole... thing of actually Frank could be Charlie's dad in all this. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole... It's another story another day. But yeah, he's chewing on the meat in the thing, and he has an argument between Shadynasty and Reggie. Yeah. I like I said, I love the way he talks. Yeah. He's so good. Such a good actor. Judo breaks it up. Yeah. And then tells Frankie to take you home. Like, is he old enough to drive? And he looks so happy. He plays the kid so well. I think even she goes, he looks like 12. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they're on the car ride home. Yeah. There was the he says you've got a great set on you. Oh, and she's like, excuse me? Even you were like, I was like, pipes. You like your voice. Sing it. Yeah. It's like, oh, thank you. You like black music? It's like, yeah, it's really great. I'm going to open my own jazz bar and have everyone in there, like blacks and white mixed people, together. Yeah. No Asians. It's like you just think Frank's like on the right track and is off the cliff. Yeah. Like, oh my god. And she was like, oh, we all got a dream. And didn't he say something about her being the leading? Yes, yeah, exactly. Because that's what she was like. Oh, I'm just a backing singer. No, you'll be leading. Yeah. And then we hear the police sirens. It's like, oh. Yeah. And that's when Charlie walks over with the beer. It's like, wait, what? You put her head wet? Yeah. It's like, well, you couldn't be seen driving around with. And then he used the word, which I'm not going to repeat. Yeah, no, don't.
I mean, Dee repeated it, but she was like, whoa, what's that word? You're not using that. That's not the right word.
It's like, but it's the 60s, and it's like...
That was the word at the time. It's like...
It doesn't make it any better.
Yeah. If that was it, it's so weird. And that's when we cut to, they've opened the bar.
Yep. There's
sign.
a guy there looking like...
Would you look at you? You said it before the guy.
Yeah.
Shady nasty.
Yeah. But no, Dynasty.
It's like, is that really how you spell it? And they're kind of like, shady nasty. It's so funny. I heard this joke. It's really random. I heard this joke, shady nasty, out of context years before I watched this show.
Okay.
Because I literally watched this show like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe, like up until where I've watched it. But I heard this joke like when I watched Game Grumps. Like they just once mentioned it, and they said they just talked about the joke, the shady nasty, and it stuck with me. And I still didn't click when I watched it, and I was like, oh, I get it.
I guess is it like a joke with words don't look right together? Like, oh, that's
because obviously you hear it said out loud, and it sounds different and weird, but then you don't visualize it properly until you see it written out. Because there's been like occasions where companies do this. They've written something out and it's wrong. It doesn't.
Or it's like right. When you that whole craze of hashtagging there is now.
Yeah.
Like, and when people hashtag like multiple words together.
Yes.
And then you're like, what does that say? And you've kind of got to work out what it says, and sometimes they merge together and you get something else than what was intended.
There was an advert I saw recently for something, and the guy's face, like, he had his mouth open, and that was meant to be the O of the word, but when you take away the O, it made a horrible word, and it was like, whoever did this is getting fired. Yeah. So, yeah. Is that whole thing of, like, Penn Island as well? Yeah. Do you know Penn Island?
Yes.
Yeah. It's that thing. It's a silly joke, but I like it. Anyway, they is it talking about like it felt like she was singing to him all the time because she actually was.
She was the main singer, and then she was singing, and then came up and kissed him.
They make out, and they're making out, and then Gino comes out.
Yeah.
No. Does Gino? No, Reggie. Behind. No. Yeah, but on the second time, they were still making out on the sofa.
Yes.
And then Reggie comes over, and he's like, "So you two are together now? You left? Well, you took her from me." And she was like, "I left you. I'm with him now."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, is that right? It's like, well, I'm working on my temper.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be about it.
But I'll just let you know.
And the way he said it, I'm not happy with it. Yeah. And he goes to shake his hand, and then Gino smashes him with a bat.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Yeah. And they were both locked up.
Yeah.
Like, what, Reggie as well? Those were the
Gino
days.
got 2 years and Reggie got 6. And they're like, what did Reggie do?
And then that's when they say, those were the days. And she's like, well, you're making it sound as if you yearn for those days. It's like, no, I'm just saying, those were the days. So messed up. See, I think it's because obviously, like, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, it's crazy to look back. And, like, it does still happen these days.
Exactly, which is the point the whole show made at the end.
Crazier.
Yeah. But the point the show made at the end as well. But, like, yeah. It's like people do that all the time, though. Like, they'll say, oh, those were the days back in the day. And it's like, yeah, but then there was a lot of bad things going on. Like, I mean, you know.
When we could pay the electricity bills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so. But, yeah, there we go. We go to the 70s.
Yes.
Where I mistakenly thought it was disco. It looked a bit, but it wasn't.
Like early on disco.
Yeah, drugs was the thing. They were happy doing the thing, but
Gino
then
brought it back.
Oh, it was a welcome home. Yeah, for Gino. But
he got addicted to drugs in prison, so then.
So it's the 70s. Everyone does drugs.
Yeah.
It's like no, not in my establishment. This is a good place. Yeah. So and then he's like eating food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then is it that night or something?
I think it then cuts back to the bar, and then he's like doing the food thing again because he's getting stressed about it, I guess, and he's eating. And then Gino's like, "Oh, can I do it as well?" He's like, "Yeah, you put them in your mouth."
He's like, "I taught you how to."
I taught you how to do that. Yeah. Like, I feel like they're getting off focus again in the game. Like, get on with it.
And then goes to the evening where
Reggie turns up.
Yeah.
And he's a Black Panther. Yeah, he's like, prison changed me. I've changed my ways. We won't have drugs messing up my neighbourhood.
No.
This'll show you. It goes to get someone out, and then Frank runs in. Bam.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you know? It's a pamphlet. Yeah, petition. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gino's like, give me the gun. Yeah, because the gun is from Gino. Because when Gino because when Gino's talking to Frank about the drugs, he's like, we've got to protect this place, and he's like, yeah, I do. And that's when Frank takes the gun off of him because he's like, you can't have that.
Yeah.
That's
it's funny how Frank changed to having guns.
Yeah. But yeah, Gino tells Frank to run. He's got this covered.
Yeah, and then he sent him off to...
Yeah.
Was it Colombia? No, it wasn't Colombia. It might be in Colombia. You might be right, yeah. That makes sense for coke and drugs.
Yeah.
And he was put in charge of quality controlling his drugs. Yeah. And we just have a coke binge montage of him going crazy, and then...
Yeah.
Then it cuts to him...
I really hope that...
we had the whole Gino having sex with loads of women as well. That was before Reggie. So we got a scene of Gino having sex with a woman on the desk. And then we got this scene of cutting to a woman having sex with Frank, and he looks really sad.
I'm really hoping it was flour or ice and sugar in those scenes.
No, that was Coke.
Sounded delito.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's been shipped away. He's writing love notes to
Dynasty.
See every night.
Yeah. I like how sweaty and horrible and dribbly he is, and I don't know, it's just the details. But yeah, he then calls up Gino.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, the bird wants to fly home. Yeah.
To the cage, wants to come back to the cage.
Yeah. And then he's like, they're doing code. He's like, there's too much heat. I can handle the heat. And then what does he say? He says something about...
But you're wanted for attempted murder here.
He's like, why'd you say that for, Gino? And he's like, you just used my name.
It's like, Frank, you can't come back.
Like, no, you said my name. I gotta... Such a silly joke. I like it, though. Yeah. I feel like that was most of the episode was jokes that are quite... It's just fun. Yeah. I really had fun with it. It's just interesting. Yeah. But then, he comes back. And what did he find?
He finds Gino shacked up.
Well, no, he finds something worse than that.
Oh, like disco. Disco is hit hard. Drugs everywhere. And he's just like, what is this place? This is not. And then he sees Gino with...
Dynasty, and they're having drugs. And he's like... Then he pukes.
He pukes at the sight of Gino with her.
Yeah. And then he's like, you gotta choose. Is it me or him and the drug?
It's just like the drugs.
I choose drugs. I like the little detail as well of because obviously he said about his hearing earlier, but also the loud music in a club all the time. Whenever you talk in a club, it's like that. Like, what? What'd you say? She chose drugs. It's like, ugh. Yeah. And then it cuts to Gino in the pub, and he's got the letters. And he's like, "You've been writing these love letters to her. I know it's you.
Her life.
Yeah.
You're meeting her on Friday at 5 p.m. at Gate C.
Yeah. I was going to burn these like I burned the ones before."
Yeah. And he's like, wait, you burnt mine?
Letters? Why'd you do that? He's like, they were poetry. They were so beautiful. He was like crying.
Yeah.
But these are not like that. They're smut.
Yeah. And he's like, I haven't wrote these.
Yeah.
And then it's like, was it...
Mac
that is like, wait...
It's almost 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Like,
someone's waiting at the airport right now. And Charlie's kind of like, you can go get her. Like, go. What?
The love of your life. Go get her.
Yeah. Because, I think it cut to the letters. So, obviously, after she chooses drugs, they then have to fight in the 70s. And then it cuts to them having another fight. Yeah. But, yeah, they get to the airport. I'm like, I don't see a black woman around here anywhere.
Like, except
for her. Can't be her.
Like, yeah, that's her. And they're like, oh.
Dynasty. Frankie. And they're like really like happy to see each other.
Yeah.
It's like, you gotta choose me. I wrote to you from like all the time, and he threw him away. It's like, no, you gotta pick me. Pick him. Pick me.
Yeah.
No.
And then Reggie comes up.
I pick him. They're like, what? Well, shit, because he keeps saying shit all the time. Reggie. I like the gang's comments are awful. They're like, she's not what I expected. And then they're like, a lot of these people put a lot of weight since.
But then that goes with like what we said about what what Matt kind of wanted to kind of show as well, that in life people aren't always the same as what they looked when they were 20.
Yeah. It goes along with the theme of the
show that sort of element that Mac was.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone ages and changes. Yeah. Because we even had that in the drug montage. Like Frank, like lost his hair and he aged, and and I mean, even Gino had no hair. It was a fake toupee, and he's like, "You got no hair." It's like, I had no hair long before you had no hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes along with that. Yeah, which I really like. And like Frank has looked a bit rough in this season, although he's not changed much. He's got the straggly hair and like it's
anyway, she goes to go off with Reggie because Reggie is her true love.
Yeah, he was always in prison because of them.
But then the air marshals come up and apparently he's on no-fly.
So no, it's like, this can't happen. You can't.
Things have changed.
Things have changed, and they're both like, well, I guess things haven't changed. Yeah. It's kind of the same, which, yeah. And then they go off and they start telling another story about chucking him off of a building.
Yeah.
And then Mac's like, I cannot hear another story. And that's the episode.
Yeah.
Frank's brother.
I think that's why I watched this one and I was a bit like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, no, I get the feeling. I was like that the first time I watched it.
But
as well.
I think, like, now talking about it, I think it is because we've had so many episodes recently where the gang, they split off a lot and so many different things are going on.
Oh, it's a different feeling kind of episode. Yeah.
There's almost that chaos element that you're trying to keep track of all these different stories that are all interlinked at the same time, but where this one was just more of a linear telling of the story, which I think is why I was like, oh, but now looking back I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
I really enjoy it. Yeah, like I said, because before we watched it I said this one's a bit strange, just prepare yourself, because it's different. It feels different, but I enjoy it. And watching it again I like it a lot more as well. Yeah. It's funny, it's great. This season's great, I'm loving it. Before we go, I just wanted to mention, I might cut this in before. In the podcast, Charlie and Rob, in real life, were talking about how they have arguments quite a lot about the show.
Rob being... Charlie
Mac.
is Charlie,
Charlie's
right?
Charlie, and Rob...
Why aren't the others the same name? Why is Charlie Charlie?
I don't know. It's just the way it is.
Rob is Mac.
Yeah, Mac. Rob McElhaney.
Oh.
I don't know if that's why.
Maybe he goes by Mac. Or does he go by Rob?
He goes by Rob, yeah. But anyway, they tend to have arguments about the show, which is why it works, I think. But Rob likes to shake things up and change it a lot. Yeah. Whereas Charlie's a bit more reluctant. He doesn't want to make the show gimmicky. Yeah. So like there was a season where they were going to do a whole thing somewhere else, and like the bar was going to be there, and then like Charlie was like, that feels gimmicky, and like we're just doing it for the sake of it. But this feels like an episode of change and complete difference. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like the Liberty Bell one, which apparently Rob said like a lot of people online didn't like that episode, the Liberty Bell, because it was too different. Yeah. But I like them. I think they stand out and make the show great. It still works. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
It's the gang showing how history was.
But Charlie didn't say he's reluctant to the change. He just... Because, like, even with this season, with
I guess he takes a bit more convincing.
Yeah, it's even with this season, though. Rob originally said we all need to get back for the season. They were like... Charlie was like, no, that's gimmicky. Yeah. You can do it. And that would work. Like, one person doing it, I think that would be good. So they kind of... And they balance each other and work really well.
I guess it's hard, though, isn't it? When you're... when you think season 1 of this... They literally just went round Philadelphia with a camera and winged it. Yeah. And then it's become such a like...
The show has to kind of evolve as it goes.
But it's become such a popular show that all it would take... And they are walking on the fence post with the subject matter in the episode. Yeah. So all it would take would be one wrong episode and everything to crumble down. Yeah. So you kind of get why Charlie might be a bit more hesitant in change, because he's like, well, this is working.
He also doesn't want to alienate the fans of the show, I guess. But then Rob is also of the mindset that, well, if you keep doing the same thing, it'll get stale. Yeah. So
it's
you gotta like shake it up and do both.
It's a hard thing
compromise.
To...
That's why they work well together.
Change it up so people don't get bored, but then you run the risk of changing it up and it not be what people want.
Yeah, and then Glenn is basically the middleman. He's kind of a bit of both. So but that's all I wanted to say. I watched it on the podcast. But there we go. That was episode 5. Yeah, we've only got how many more? I don't know. 8 more? 8 more to go.
8 more.
What else can they get up to? Eh? We'll see. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. But there we go. Otherwise, we'll be back to Always Sunny soon enough.
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching. We shall see you then. Bye-bye.